I'm here in Audrain County, where yesterday emergency personnel found Antonio Jefferson lying next to a crashed car on Audrain Road 913. Several workers told me today that things are going well. And even if they don't know what's causing their success, they are confident in their company and customers. Cheese is now in jail with a bond of $500,000, and according to court records, his arraignment is scheduled for Monday morning. Live in Moberly, Lindsey Fafoglia, KOMU 8 News. You may have seen these red ribbons on cars around Missouri, including the Missouri State Highway Patrol cars and the MoDOT fleet cars. With the KOMU Recycle and Trash app, it's free for both Apple and Android users, especially in light of what happened here at Centralia High School just last Friday when a student brought a gun with ammunition to school in his backpack. Last night, this scene was overtaken by flashing police lights, officers, firefighters, and media, all responding to what seemed like a realistic mass shooting. What felt like an active shooting incident was just a training for the very situation. Columbia Police and Fire Departments, the SWAT team, and emergency medical technicians responded to the active assailant training exercise at Stevens College. Actors posed as victims of the shooting. One says the situation felt real.
Overall thoughts is it went really, really well, and there's no other way for the officers and the SWAT team and the firefighters and everyone to learn how to deal with this unless they go through a simulation.
Pilly says she played a victim with a severe back injury.
There were some issues that people never really thought of before.
She says her character was put with the victims playing dead, but her character was still alive.
And so I was one of the last people out, where some other people who were less injured, they got out sooner. But there's no way they can fix that in the future without doing the simulation.
The situation felt real from the outside as well. Firefighters carried victims out, and reporters questioned officers for details. CPD says an opportunity to train like this is rare.
It's not often that we get an opportunity to train together as all these public service agencies, and so we're really grateful to Stevens College for giving us this opportunity.
After the exercise, agencies talked about how things went and how they can improve. Larimer says there were a few miscommunications, but other than that, things went well. She says details on how things went will be released soon. Live in Columbia, Lindsey Fafoglia, KOMU 8 News.
Hi, welcome to the Broadway.
The Broadway Hotel in downtown Columbia was built using a TIF, which stands for Tax Increment Financing. A TIF is used as a tax subsidy for redeveloping. Now David Parmley, the owner of the Broadway, is requesting a $2 million TIF to build a second hotel tower, despite the TIF Commission's vote against it.
Once again, the TIF Commission had their role to play, and they made their vote on it.
Parmley says the $20 million project will bring millions back into the community.
I think once the City Council gets a chance to look at the economics, the $9 million for $2 million investment, they'll be supportive of that, confident. So.
Parmley said the new 8-story tower would have 80 new rooms, conference space, plus a rooftop ballroom. It'd be located right here on Walnut Street, where this office building stands now. He just has to prove that the land is a public health hazard or at risk of becoming blighted. Parmley rents the building and said the land has steep curb drop-offs and is full of litter. Columbia Public Schools appointed TIF Commission member Christine King said the land doesn't qualify for a TIF.
Brought up the fact that there was dog excrement and all this other stuff on the property. Well, the property owner is able to clean that up. That doesn't make it go blight.
Parmley said the hotel will bring much-needed meeting space to Columbia, more jobs, and more people to downtown. Most involved are supportive of the project, just not the TIF.
I think if a private entrepreneur wants to come forward and pay her taxes and go through the planning and zoning process and thinks that he can make a profit on a new development, I say God bless him. But if he's coming to the public for resources, as he is for a $2 million subsidy, that raises the level of scrutiny.
Parmley is still in a lawsuit with the builder of the Broadway, and construction costs have only gone up.
Once again, all the risk is on my end here. If prices go up, that's my problem. If things don't work out, my problem. There's no city guarantee for the TIF. They're not promising me anything.
If approved, construction will begin in January. King says if they do move forward, what's the point of a TIF commission?
But hey, if the city approves it and they move forward, then it's to my benefit to get behind it to make sure it's a success.
Parmley says his goal is always to get people out and about in downtown Columbia.
Hopefully my passion comes through for the project. It took 4 years to build the last one, and I don't know how sure I want to take the next one, but I'm invested in doing it and would like to see it happen and hope for the community support.
Lindsey Fafoglia, KOMU 8 News, Columbia.